Labor shortages, remote work, reduced working hours, side gigs. We're currently living through the biggest shakeup in the labor market in decades, maybe longer. It's a great time to talk about the nature of work and how it's rapidly changing around the world, especially here in the US. The biggest and most impactful change is the shift to remote work. Most employers are realizing that remote work does not negatively affect workers' productivity and, in some cases, may even improve it. As a result, a growing share of companies expect to permanently shift to remote work models, perhaps the biggest legacy of COVID-19. Employers are also more willing to geographically expand their employee pools. The shift to remote work allows employers to hire workers in the cheaper markets and save on labor costs. In 2018, less than 40% of Silicon Valley tech company jobs were outside of that area. Now it's almost 2/3. Most of that increase occurred during the pandemic around the shift to remote work. We're also dealing with a large labor shortage at the moment. Some categories in this shortage as a failure on the part of the worker, blaming them for not returning to work because of their generous unemployment benefits. Others are blaming companies themselves, saying the shortage is due to poor wages the companies refuse to raise, and this is simply the result of supply and demand in action. Whatever the reason, we do know that the majority of the open jobs are low wage in nature. We also know that the working age population in the U.S. is gradually shrinking, especially in the older population that left the workforce due to the pandemic and doesn't plan to return. These labor shortages will most likely be with us for the most foreseeable future. Amid of all this change, we're also seeing countries experiment with reduced work weeks. Between 2015 and 2019, Iceland completed a study of 1% of its workforce that had their work week reduced to 35 hours a week. The result of the experiment was an overwhelming success, with reports of reduced stress and burnout and increased work-life balance, health, and overall working well-being.